of the year.
Amen.
I thank God for Pastor Henry because he's going to test my skills to get in the meat and get it out as quick as I possibly can. So I'm going to do that. It's been a good year. Amen. 2018. It's been a good year. It's been a good year. My stepdaughter was diagnosed with cervical cancer. The enemy came to attack my marriage, came to attack my reputation, came to attack my ministry. Our sister Marie was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. It's a good year, amen?
Good year.
It's a good year.
Yes, it is, amen.
And I know those things don't sound like good things, but like we sang about this morning, he'll make a way.
Yes, sir.
Out of no way.
Amen.
My sister Marie, she got the all clear. Ain't that right, Marie? Stage 3 cancer. You know that's deadly? Colon cancer? People don't come back from that. But our sister Marie came back. My stepdaughter was diagnosed cervical cancer. And it required a very, very expensive treatment. And check this out. I don't have no health insurance. And check this out. My wife, she don't have no health insurance. But by the grace of God, my stepdaughter had the best health insurance. The best health insurance. She got treatment that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. That would have taken us to the poorhouse. I don't have health insurance. Her mother doesn't have health insurance, but God.
God was good.
So family, it was a good year. Amen? Amen. I lost some good people in my life. A good friend of mine, her name was Patrice Edwards. She was a mentor of mine. Long-time co-laborer for Christ. Beautiful, beautiful person. Lost her this year. We lost Billy Graham at the beginning of the year. And I only had the privilege to meet this lady once, but from the one time I met her and from everything I've heard about her since then, I know she was a beautiful lady. And I'm talking about Pastor Sarah. We lost her this year. And those things don't sound like good things, but you know the truth of the matter is, it's appointed unto every man wants to die. Everybody is going to die. But do you know that not everybody will live? Let me tell you about my friend Patrice, who I lost this year.
Hallelujah.
She was a talented woman. She could sing. And she had a sense of humor. And she was just a beautiful, beautiful, creative, loving co-laborer for Jesus Christ. So it breaks my heart that she's no longer with us. But I know this, that while she was here, last time I was behind this sermon, I preached about using your talents to the best of your ability. And my sister Patrice, she did that. She left it all in the court. She told every joke. She sang every song. And she loved everyone she saw. You couldn't come into her presence without knowing that she loved you. Amen. It was like she made it her personal, and I know people like to say nice things about people after they're dead. What I'm talking about, Patrice, is the absolute truth. I would have said this if she was still alive and sitting in this room. It was like when you were with her, in the room with her, it was like it was her personal, she felt it was her personal responsibility to let you know that you were loved. If she engaged you in a conversation, she would not finish that conversation until you laughed about something that she said. She was just going to make you laugh. And you couldn't help but laugh because she had a crazy, wicked sense of humor. You know? And every time I saw her, I got a laugh and I got a hug off of her. It's a beautiful legacy. That's a beautiful legacy. So yeah, she's gone. But she did her thing. She did her thing. While she was here, she used her talents. Like I said, she hugged every hug and told every joke and sang every song. So I'm sad that she's gone, but I'm glad that I have the opportunity to be blessed by her in my life.
Amen.
And I, like I said, only met Pastor Sarah one time, but from everything I've heard about her and from the time I met her that time, she ran her race.
Amen.
She ran her race.
Amen.
So I'm sad that she's gone, but my message is this. I can't do nothing about Patrice's race.
Amen.
Can't do nothing about Pastor Sarah's race.
That's real.
And I can't do nothing about Billy Graham's race, but I have a feeling that he ran his race as well. I have a feeling that he used his talents to the best of his ability.
Amen.
Because the reports say that he ministered to over 200 million people.
Wow.
So I think he did his thing. And I'm trying to catch him, but I got a long way to go. It's about 30 people in here. I don't know what 200 million minus 30 is, but I think I got a long way to go. A long way to go. And so the topic that Pastor Jake had chosen for us today is finish strong. Finish strong. And what does that mean? Well, it's at the end of the year, so you might interpret that to mean, well, I'm going to finish 2018 strong. But that would be, I think, a mistake.
Yes.
Because your discipleship is not going to end when this year ends.
Forever.
You know?
Forever.
Your job is not going to end when this year ends. And I'm not going to read these scriptures because we don't have a whole lot of time left. But there's many scriptures in the Bible where God describes our lifestyle as a race.
Amen.
And as a fight.
That's good.
Paul says, I've run the race that's set before me. He also says, I fight the good fight of faith.
Amen.
And there are several scriptures that describe this discipleship that we're engaged in
Amen.
as a fight
Amen.
and as a race.
Amen.
And I believe that the reason that God chose those words is because you can't win a fight and you can't win a race unless you give it everything you got. If you come to a fight half-hearted about it, you're about to get knocked out. If you come to a race and you're half-hearted about it, you're not going to win. In order to win a race, you have to give it everything you have. And it's interesting, God doesn't describe it as a jog, as a walk in a park.
It's a marathon.
It's a race.
Hallelujah.
See, you can finish a jog without giving it everything you have. You can jog for 3 miles. Now, some people it might take, 30 minutes. Some people it might take 3 hours. But everybody can finish a jog.
Amen.
Even without giving it all you got.
That's good.
You can run at half your pace
Amen.
and finish a jog. But you can't win a race without giving it everything you got.
That's good. That's good.
Everything you have. If you don't, you lose the race. And the same thing with a fight. If you don't give it everything you got, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. So I think it's interesting that that's the way our life is described in the Bible. It's as a race. It's as a fight. That means you got to give it everything you got. Everything you got.
Fight. Amen.
And the other thing about a race and the other thing about a fight is, it doesn't matter how good you start off. You might start off the fight giving the first blow. Straight to the jaw.
That's good.
But if that's all you got is that one hit, guess what? You're probably going to lose that fight. Because unless you knock me out with that first hit, I'm coming back.
That's good.
Now, I'm a Christian now, so maybe I'll turn the other cheek.
We're talking about a fight.
But I've never had to put that to the test. So if you hit me in my jaw, I might forget about my discipleship for a minute and come back on you, right? So it's got to be more than just a good swing. You got to fight till the fight is done. You got to fight until the fight is done. Because if you don't, you're going to lose. If you stop fighting before the fight is over, you lose. Same thing with a race.
That's right.
You can be the first one off the starting blocks. Leave everybody in the dust.
First 10, 20.
And say, look at that. I'm 50 yards ahead. I'm going to stop.
Finish.
You stop, you lose. You lose. With a fight and with a race, you have to give it everything you got until you are done.
That's good.
And I'm done, family, with my sermon, and I'm going to leave you with this. Your race and your fight is not over at the end of this year.
That's good.
Your race and your fight
That's good.
is over when Jesus calls you home.
Amen.
When Jesus calls you home.
Amen. Finish strong.
So finish strong.
Yes, sir.
But don't finish at the end of this year. Don't finish on December 31st.
Lord willing.
Keep running
Amen.
with everything you have.
That's good. Keep
Keep fighting
Amen.
with everything you have.
Amen.
And when that fight is over? When that race is over? When you hear the creator of the universe say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Your race is over. Your fight is finished. Come on home.
Amen.
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 Pastor Jake.